Yeah? All right. Just looking to see who was giving me that information. Welcome to NIDA. Just want to start to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the sacred lands, from the mountains to the sea, where we learn and we tell stories every day here at NIDA. The land of the Bidjigal, Gadigal, Dharawal and Darug peoples, and pay respects to the Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islander elders of our past and our present. Sovereignty was never ceded and always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Oh, I'm going past my... This is the information talk for the Diploma of Life Production and Technical Services. So if you're not here for that, welcome. Maybe we'll convert you. If you're here for something else, perhaps you're in the wrong space. So no awkwardness if you want to get up and we'll all watch you leave. No? Okay. My name's Loretta Sancataldo. I'm the course leader for this diploma and also the makeup diploma, and I'm here today with some current and past students as well to let you know what it's like to actually study here in this diploma course. A little bit of a quick overview of the course. Okay, it's a 1-year intensive study, so we do 3 terms essentially. That lets you coordinate technical elements for productions, festivals, events. Okay, it's a course for technicians. Technicians on the ground, technicians supervising, technicians going into technical management. But very broadly, term 1, and I forgot to say welcome to those on home who are online. Just reminded me, there's a lot of people online, I believe. Term 1, we do managing production, safety, compliance. We start off with those underpinnings knowledge as well. We do white card, we do work safely at heights, and then we head into managing some bump out schedules, the big picture, and we start technical skills as well, some introductory lessons in lighting, audio and vision systems, a little bit of staging. That's term 1. We finish off with a collaboration production with the Diploma of Stage and Screen Performance and the Diploma of Screen and Media Specialist Makeup Services. Term 2, we focus on our technical skills. We're still doing some managed production because everything just travels through, but we focus heavily on audio, lighting and vision systems and our technical assessments and really nail the nitty-gritty of all of that as well. Term 2, we do a cabaret at the end of term, a 2-week production, which is a lot more intense in more detail than the one we did in term 1. It's a collaboration with the Diploma of Musical Theatre and again the Diploma of Screen and Media Specialist Makeup Services. We work on a gala and some other things as well. We don't just wait to the end of term to do practical productions. Term 3, we focus on managing complex projects. So technical skills are still tracking through, as are some elements of managing production. But we're focusing on the bigger picture of how you bring an entire project, and that could be an installation, it could be an immersive event, it could be a performance, it could be a technical project that we do, and all those different elements, as well as the technical skills in there. They have a technical focus. And we also do placement. 3 weeks of placement, and we do some professional practice as well. What's it like to work as a professional, how you might find your work if you are doing freelancing, or how you find work as a technician, and how you actually get the money to actually go out there and do what we love. So that's the 3 terms of an overview. The 3 technical areas we focus on, of course, is audio, lighting and vision. For all of them, we're managing the equipment, the installation, the setup, and of course the pack down of each department as well. Audio, we particularly look at wireless systems, so there's a bit of an extra technical there, as well as operating digital consoles. Lighting, we do program and operate complex lighting cues on hopefully a range of lighting boards. We normally do ETC, but we're going to be adding a few more next year, and supervising other technicians as well. Vision is similar. We manage the installation and setup, and then of course we will look at a range of types of events. So we do performance, obviously here at NIDA we do drama a lot, but we also do some installations and video installations and work on the makeup showcase, which is a video immersive installation as well. Placement, because someone always asks about placement. We do 3 weeks of placement in beginning of term 3. It's a professional placement. We source that for you. We match you up where you go. Typically, we have students that will go to the Opera House, specialising in one of the technical areas. They may go to Opera Australia, they may do some stage management. They may go, generally we have one at Chameleon, one at Resolution X, one at the Technical Direction Company, so very technical production houses, and a range of venues like Belvoir Street, the Ensemble, STC, places like that. That is the placement you go on for 3 weeks. Here's a couple of photos. What's training like? There's an excursion to TDC. We're looking at the warehouse. Work safely at heights was happening. Putting some set together, operating the fly lines. That was last year's class. Some students there on a production. Unloading trucks. There's a lot of pushing road cases around. Setting up Megadeck. Lying on Megadeck. Peeling off bits of tape off Megadeck. Working in the parade. We work in all the venues. You'll see the venues today when you're here. We do get around and we do little productions and activities and have class in all the venues regularly. Our tutors and trainers are all trained industry professionals, so we all work, I still work doing productions. I was on a bump out last night till very late because that's what we do as technicians. So they're very much right up there with contemporary practice. There are specialists, there's specialist audio, specialist vision, specialist lighting, specialist stage managers come in. We have industry guests. There's a lot of people, but they are all working people and quite often go on to employ people or see them out while they're working on other jobs. If you're interested in how much it costs, there you go. You can find this on the website, all this information. It is supported by a vet student loan, so you can take out the entire cost on a vet student loan, and which you pay back through your taxes later. That's the amount. I'm not going to read it out because it's scary. The criteria to get into this diploma, it does say, all the paperwork says you need to have your HSC or equivalent. So if you haven't done your HSC but you are perhaps a little bit older and you've been doing other work, then absolutely apply. That's quite fine. You don't have to have done your HSC, but if you're coming straight from school, you need to have finished it and be generally 18 or turning 18 while the course is on. So if you're 17 and you're going to not turn 18 till March or April or May, you can still apply. Okay. Demonstrate a high level of practical ability, potential motivation, and the big one is you must have some experience already in at least one technical area. It's a prerequisite. You need to show that you've either done your Certificate 3 at school or you've worked for community theatre or professional company in either lighting, vision or audio, okay, and demonstrate that to us. It is a diploma, so it is quite involved, so there's a little bit of underpinning knowledge we need you to come with. Yep. Oh, and that is the end. I don't know how to go back on this clicker. Can someone please make it go back? The red button didn't do it. Oh, yes, it did. Okay, I'm just going to ask these lovely students and ex-students to talk a little bit about what it's like to be a student here, and then we can take some questions. So on the end, I have Thomas, and then I have Alaska, who's a current student, and then I have Maddie. So Thomas, tell us what it's like being here as a student, or what it's like now you've left.
Yeah, no, it was very, very intense course. But nothing that you can't really handle if you're interested, really. Now out of NIDA, I'm working a lot as a freelancer, mostly in corporate AV, but I still do theatre AV and concerts and other fancy gigs like that. More?
Did the course deliver what you thought it was going to deliver?
Yes, it's definitely prepared me for what I currently work in and deal with in my day-to-day AV career.
Okay. Favourite moment? Or challenge? Favourite challenge?
I think my favourite challenge would have probably been our the makeup showcase one that we did. I enjoyed that one, but it was definitely challenging.
Yeah, I hear you. Maddie will tell us about her challenging project. Actually, we might move to Maddie now. Thanks, Maddie. Tell us what it was like to be a student here last year and perhaps the favourite challenge you had and what you're doing now.
So it definitely, like Thomas said, is a really intensive course, but I think coming out of it, like now that I have more experience, that's definitely the best way to learn. Like at first I felt a bit overwhelmed, but then we got a couple of weeks in and I was like, oh, this is actually really helpful to like just be constantly working at it, because you're not going through those periods where you're like not doing things, that you're always doing something, you always have something to challenge your mind with, so you're always thinking about something. That I think was one of my favourite bits of the course. I think my most challenging moment was our technical project.
Favourite moment?
No, but favourite challenging moment. Yeah. Was our tech project. I stage managed it and we had 4 different groups, and that was my first time stage managing something that wasn't pre-written like a musical or anything. So it was a really nice mind exercise to take everyone's ideas and put them together and make a show out of it. And it was really, really satisfying when we got to the end and it worked.
Yeah, in term 3, this is new, you didn't do this, Thomas. We do a technical project. The students, term 3 is very much like a mentorship term. They take ownership of what they're doing with the projects, and they create and devise a technical project in small groups as part of a big group, and they have to all take on all the roles. They have to manage it, book the equipment, have production meetings, work out what they're doing and what the show will be. They may have performers, they generally don't. They tend to be technical. Last year we had 3. We had 3 mini little projects happening. One group centred a lot around staging and special effects with staging tricks, and of course lighting and sound went into that. The other group then moved on and they did a lot of audio, did like a soundscape, and had, how many speakers did they have, Maddie? A lot of speakers, rigged, and of course they needed lighting, and they had to sort out audience seating. They had to do compliance of how they organised the seating, how many seats they were. We had the audience all in low fog around your feet, so that had to be, managed and be safe. Another group focused on lighting and vision, and there was multiple projectors, and they had to manage the entire project and come up with it. So it was big, wasn't it? And this year's going to be even bigger, right, Alaska? Alaska is halfway through her training, so she doesn't know what all the challenges are yet, but she's had a few, I bet. Alaska's also the recipient of the scholarship. There's a scholarship that one student in this course can apply for from the Technical Direction Company, and Alaska, actually Thomas was too. Thomas was also, I forgot about that, the scholarship recipient as well, and that's for $15,000 next year for one student in the class, just to help with fees or living expenses. So Alaska, tell us what your halfway journey is like.
It is incredible here. So I find I'm a very hands-on learner, and I already feel so much more confident doing everything. Coming from a regional town, I lacked some of the experiences that I felt like I could have had if I came from a city, but that definitely wasn't the case. Coming here, we all started fresh, and we all learnt together, and because it's very hands-on, it's very independent as well, so we all get the chance to actually get our hands dirty and do it, like learning the flies in the parade theatre, which is huge. Anything else?
I think we might just go to questions, because that'll tease out more information. Questions from people in the room, and I know there's probably some questions online which will be read out to us as well. So questions.
So if you want to be doing the more stage management elements of the industry, but you maybe don't want to do like the whole 3-year course on stage management and technical theatre, do you find that you can sometimes, even if you do the live production course, kind of sidestep into that industry that's more like management rather than technical stuff?
Yes, I'm going to let Maddie answer that in a minute. We don't do a lot of stage management in this course. That is for technical theatre stage management, the BFA. However, we work on shows that have stage managers. So naturally, we're going to learn what they do and how they do. And when we do our own productions, we need students to step up and take on those roles. So we do learn about stage management, but we don't do it in the refined details of the 3-year course. Maddie particularly had a focus on stage management. These 3 students have different focuses, or ex-students. Maddie, tell us about your stage management experience.
So This course doesn't focus on it, like Loretta said. Clearly, I'm not into audio.
We're technicians. We don't like microphones or cameras in our faces.
But I think this course is really important because it gives you the technical background knowledge that is good for stage management. Because if you're only doing stage management and that's the only thing you focus on, and people start talking to you about, oh, something's happened in this department and you don't know what's going on, then it just becomes a whole nother issue. So I found that this course was really, really helpful in getting that really solid background foundation. And I myself have started moving into ASM work off of this, and a couple from our class actually.
Yeah, Lucy's just done Annie, working on Annie. Chouani's just about to tour with Thought for Jove.
Yes, and she did producers.
Yes, and a couple of others. So we've got a few stage management graduates from last year.
So a couple of us have really stepped into that ASM role, which obviously you can work through and build and get up to higher stage management roles. But I think this course is really more important for like the good, solid background foundation.
Another question in the room?
I've got the mic.
Someone, you got the mic? Great.
I have 3 questions. Is the course limited to how many participants you take?
Yes, we have a maximum of 16.
Okay.
We don't always take 16. We take those that meet the requirements that we think are going to succeed. This year we only took 13. We took 14. Somebody had a change of circumstances, but we don't always take 16. It's not a matter of filling the class, though we get more applicants, obviously, than we can fill.
Okay. Like with the criteria, there was like community theatre and like experiences in that. Is like school component and being involved in school included in that?
Yep, absolutely. If they can talk to them about what they've done at school, if they've done the entertainment course, that's certainly, a good way of getting some experience. But some students come and they've just done drama at school. They don't offer entertainment and they haven't done a lot of technical at school, but they might have done a lot of staging and some other things, and they've figured it out a bit. Cool. And we'll take them too.
Awesome. And the third one is, it's obviously a practical, but is there any theory component to it?
Any which, sorry?
Theory?
There's a lot of knowledge that has to be taught and learnt throughout. So sometimes we sit and we learn about the physics of light and the regulations to do with compliance and various things, but that we embed that during our practice.
Okay, so there's not like no sort of assessment like component.
Oh, there is assessments. A lot of assessment.
Like that's what I was thought.
Yeah.
Like that's what like the practical assessment, but yet there's a theory assessment like written.
There are. We
cool.
don't do exams.
Okay.
There are sometimes there's questions that they work on in class or at home. There are responses and a lot of observations, being a vocational course. Okay. So we will observe people being safe and being compliant and have a conversation about, as we're writing the risk assessment, and we might assess them that way. How are they meeting their obligations to be safe, etc. And then they might create the risk assessment, and that is the more evidence of what they know about it.
Okay.
Thank you,
Loretta. Yep.
Yep.
Hi. I was just wondering what you did before you joined university. Did you do your Cert 3 or were you in drama, and how has the course... No,
myself,
like any of these guys. And how the course has bettered your understanding of the material.
I'm happy to answer this one. During high school, my HSC years, so year 11 and 12, I did my Cert 3 for the entertainment industry. The Cert 3 prepares you for, I wouldn't say the bare minimum, but it gives you the basic knowledge and understanding to introduce you into the industry. And then transitioning into the diploma, it's different, but you've got that basic understanding and foundational knowledge from your Cert 3 to help you through the diploma, and it's not heaps different, but you get more detailed and you go more towards the operational side more than the setting up and being a roadie kind of thing, Yeah.
Did that answer it? Do you want to hear from the others as well?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Just quickly, because it's time.
No worries. So when I was in high school, I did drama in year 9 and 10, and then kind of got sick of that and started doing entertainment. So I did my Cert 3 before I came, and part of that, I did my work placement at my local theatre, where I just ended up sticking and I haven't left because I just love it there. But I realised that I actually really liked doing like backstage and stage management and meching and like lighting as well. I'm obsessed with it. So after I finished the HSC, I was like, how can I pursue this as like a job rather than a hobby? And that's when I found NIDA, and now I'm doing it as a job, and it's great.
And Alaska?
So I also did my Cert 3 in high school, and I did a lot of work with my local theatre company, which I am still doing. I love it there as well. You can't escape it. I started off doing like props and stuff there, but then I shadowed other people doing microphones and everything fun like that. I also spent a year at the University of Wollongong last year, but I knew I wanted to further my knowledge of just technical, because it also had performance in it, and I'm not a performing kind of gal. And that one also helped me get a bit of a basic understanding, but it was mainly from my Cert 3. It definitely gave a underlying like idea, but it's been so much further, and I'm already halfway through, and I feel like I know so much more, and I've learned so much. Yeah.
Another question? Yep. Someone's got the microphone for you.
Probably don't need.
All right,
There's a question up the back that
repeat-
has a microphone.
I'll repeat the question then.
It's a full-time course, so what's the contact hours?
Okay, so the question's about contact hours. It's full-time. We are in class Monday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then when there's productions on, we're required some evenings and some Fridays, and there's 1 or 2 Saturdays. But you get plenty of notice of when that is. But otherwise, it's full-time in class the whole time. Yep.
I got one for Thomas. In regards to freelancing, with your job, do you find a lot of daytime work as well, or mainly nighttime?
Yeah, I've been definitely getting a lot of inconsistent hours, a mixture of day and night. You don't get a sleep schedule, I will say that much. Yeah, as a freelancer, you got to put yourself out there, but you're also in charge of what you work as well and how much you want to work. So you can work. I've just come off a 24-day period of working straight, both day and night, inconsistent. It sucked. But you don't have to do that. You can force yourself to stick to Monday to Fridays, or only do a whole week or 2 weeks at a time. It's completely up to you. It's your schedule, your time.
And there's plenty of work out there?
There's heaps of work out there, yes.
So much work. The industry's crying for people. One of the subjects we do in professional practice is provide freelance services, and we actually go through how to be a freelancer, contracting, invoicing, insurance, the obligations, and how to find work. And we do a series of mock interviews with an industry panel too. So all that information is ready to go. Did you find that helpful, Thomas and Maddie?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. I think the feedback we got from like the mock interview panel was exceptional, because like I went in with like all my paperwork and I knew what I wanted to say, and then at the end of it I was like, oh, that didn't feel like it went well, and it actually did. I just needed that like little extra bit of feedback, and now I'm not worried about interviews or meeting up with people, Zoom meetings, endless Zoom meetings.
Yeah. Next question.
In terms of relevance to just theatre or live music versus other experiences like immersive experiences, what's the kind of ratio? Is it very theatre specific or relevant to, or have tailored components to other parts of the industry?
We do a range of contexts. I mean, obviously this is NIDA, we're a drama school, so there is drama and there is theatre, but we do a variety of context in terms of types of theatre as well. And then this course, maybe a bit more so than some of the others, we don't do festivals, we don't do music, or live music and stuff like that, though they learn some live mixing as part of their skill set, because that's important and transferable to go out and do that if you're someone who wants to do that. But we'll do some installations, some video immersive type events as well. And their tech projects are whatever they want them to be. They're not really theatre, are they? They're in a venue. The venue we used last year was the Reg Grundy. If you go into that, it was a television studio. It has a range of fly lines, and it's just a bare box, and they can actually turn it into an immersive, put the audience where they want. In fact, the show that's on there, if anyone's going to see the show that's in there, the audience is on a revolve. So you go in there, the whole audience revolves constantly. You're on like during the show, instead of putting the actors on the revolve, and the actors perform around. Yeah. No, it's like a circus ride. It is slowly, yeah. Another question?
I had a question. Obviously, a certain amount of related experience is a prerequisite for the course, but is there a degree of industry experience that would make you less likely to accept an applicant?
No. And my question would be, if you've got a lot of experience and you're working, why aren't you doing that? Though I certainly understand that you might want to then extend and get those extra networks and those extra high-level skills. It takes longer on the job to learn some of the skills and knowledge because you have to have a trainer or a mentor that's going to take you under their wing, to have time in a busy schedule to explain why and how you're doing things, which is very hard on the job. So it does take a lot longer to learn those things. Whereas you come to the course, you will learn them quicker because we're concentrating on them, and then you can go back into industry or stay partly in industry while you're here. Definitely.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You say the course is full-time. Are the students, do you find that you're able to work outside of the course?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I didn't work during my course, but there was other kids in my year. I won't say kids; they weren't kids. But there was other people in my class that would work outside of hours. Obviously, it's hard during production seasons and stuff, but during just your normal 9 to 5, Monday to Thursday, there's definitely room to work around. And you get the normal 2-week school holidays as well that you can work with.
I find it's just like school, like how people work during school. I have 2 jobs and I still carry them. I work fast food and I'm also a casual theatre technician, and I just work on the weekends. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we know well in advance when the Fridays and the evenings are, and those weeks, they're blocks. Like, I pretty much know at the beginning of the year where they are, so you just have to manage those weeks. Yep, everyone's got to eat. A lot of our students come from interstate and they have to pay rent, so we try to be supportive of that. Any more questions?
If anyone's worked in the lighting department, just wondering what kind of programs you use and what's the scale of the PARs, auroras, the lights you use in just productions?
So we learn on EOS, so we're an ETC school, but we're also looking at getting a Grand MA and doing a couple of deals to get some of that. We have a whole lot of lighting consoles, so the students will work, at the moment they're working 3 or 4 at a time, so they're in pairs or threes. The room is set up with multiple lighting consoles. We have a purpose-built lighting studio, which is open all day with an activation. Some students are there. You can go and have a look at the lighting studio. But yeah, we're an EOS, essentially EOS, which is typical in drama theatre performances, but transferable skills for MA and some of the other consoles. We're almost out of time, so...
You mentioned there's working at Heights and WHS qualifications. Are there any other smaller licenses or qualifications you get as a part of the course that come in handy, or is that it?
They're the ones we offer at the moment. We might look at doing yellow card, but they're the ones at the moment we offer. And Work Safely at Heights is what we call a bonus unit. It's additional. We didn't make it part of the qualification because if for any reason someone can't do it or doesn't want to do it, because it does involve being at height, or the day we do it, they're late, or they've sprained their ankle or something temporarily that means they can't actually do it, it doesn't actually affect the outcome of the qualification. So it's a bonus unit on top of the qualification. Any more before we head out for the next group? I will be down, and the students and some other students down in the foyer at the information table most of the day. Straight after this, I have to stay for the makeup one, but you can come and ask questions throughout the day about anything else you want to know, particularly down there. We'll be there. No, that's it. No, one last question. No. Okay, well, I'll let you head on to your next thing. I look forward to meeting you later in the day.